So, how to define love? It comes from here. When the heart chakra is opening, it feels like a water, kind of like a water spreading out your chest, and it's refreshing, and it's like just emanating. And then, good thing is to find the focus of your love. For me, the easiest is to open my heart chakra either towards my mother or towards the Mother Earth, and then it's closed. Another good trick for opening the heart chakra, nothing new, is to visualize something cute, something little, like a little kitty, something that is very easy to love. And then it simply starts to follow. When you're relaxed, when you're safe, it goes naturally from you. I think that love is also the finest form of prana, of the life energy, ki, chi, or prana. All these things I was teaching my students in the school, basics. And it's making you stronger, making you healthier. That I think that is the deepest frequency, or the real frequency of the God, is that love. This is how I define it as a truth, which is love. And another thing about the love is it can be also used as a manipulation, because prana is the real current in this universe, and the love, which is the essence, is the finest vibe of that prana. And it can be only produced by the creator. It cannot be produced by the imposter, by the evil, by the lie, but it must be consumed by the lie. So now let us go back to the earth and realize that we have a physical bodies, that we have a program in our minds, and that we souls born here, that we are energetic hybrids of the soul energy and the matrix influence materials, right? So what is happening when that metaphysical love, that real love, now is turned into the A, currency on this planet, and B, as a tool of complication. So, you know my theory, which is again not original, but it's development of it's coming to me and other people's good theories, like Eve Longren's Alien Love Bite. I didn't read the book. I read, I listened the YouTube talk with Carissa Conti, Montag, and her and others. And I read some articles a long time ago, but because we are all dependent on energy, we are also dependent on love as energy, and how that energy is played in a real life, like a mother's love, like a support, being there for another person, and being truly helpful. So when it comes to the relationships, and people are competing for that love in another person, things get complicated, because we humans, we don't necessarily control our minds, and we don't control our futures. So every biofield, every human field is a combination of certain traumas, memories, alien implants, which are influencing the mind, and possible other spiritual entities living inside, and using the human biofield or human for their own purposes, as they use all of us for milking, for wars, for their geopolitical games, and so on. So we are all used, right? And we are all manipulated. And when it comes to the love, people are manipulated as well, because same as they call them aliens. Same as aliens can connect human aura and connect chakric centers and produce this the real fake love when your auras are manipulated. Okay, you feel chemistry and so on, and you know James Bartley was talking about that extensively. He's a great researcher and so on. These things are happening. Okay, they are pairing people and they're also breaking up relationships. Okay, I'll give you another example. Imagine this: you met a girl, or your girl met a guy. Everything went okay. You had a chemistry, you had a connection, and then he never calls you, she never calls you, call her back, she is cold, or you suddenly go cold. You suddenly go cold. Overnight. And you won't. And that's the thing. And it happens to so many people, and I know that you know what we're talking about. You remember this from your life. You had a connection, and you lost that connection immediately. Or you had a connection, she lost it, you had it for her, and then you suffered. Or vice versa. You've been the girl, you had a connection, it continued, he lost it, you continue to suffer. Again, you suffer, they cease. That's it. Now connect this theory to that theory of a mind, developing mind plus ego with the birth and so on. So for you, everything what is going on in that field, especially while you're young, 17, 18, whatever, it's a new thing. You give yourself completely, and then things happen. And then it happens again and again and again and again. So, you know, always one thought leads me to another thought and so on. And when it comes to this game of love, and now I'm observing it as a game of love between male and female in the Western society, it's hard to say it, but now we have this conflict within Western society. We have a problem with mortality, with the mortality, and then we have a culture which is excellent in breeding and excellent in aggression as well. So we're talking about Muslims, and this is something I just need to talk. See, I was talking about aliens and connecting and disconnecting people, but now isn't it obvious that not only our like a group lives as a civilizations and nations, but also our individual lives are clearly long run led to a certain point. Now, check this out. In European culture, I'm now going away from that subject. I'm sorry if you expected something else, but I need to go. So in that European culture, 1960s, concepts changed from the traditional marriage into the this love indulgence, which of course leads to the so what happens if you can afford yourself to indulge into lots of chocolate? You get fat, right? What happens to yourself if you can indulge in yourself into lots of sex and you're a female? Well, venereal diseases, abortions, and suffering. What happens if you indulge yourself in lots of sexual activities when you're young, male, and attractive? Again, you might develop hepatitis B, as my friend Lukacs, back in the 1990s, he was a good-looking man with lots of money and a BMW, and that's what happened. So many things can happen if you take with both hands your freedom and you simply go for it. So And all these people, or most of them, been looking for a love. They've been connecting with a person, then exploiting this connection, and then losing this connection, and then connecting with another person. And in every process, they lost energy. They gained something, they gained experience, they gained some love, but they lost energy, they lost time, they lost finances. They got scarred. The quest for love, through that freedom, less than freedom. How that resulted? Hmm? Point of my discussion is I don't always know the point. I'm talking to camera, same as I'm talking to myself and analyzing. But when I'm doing it for myself, it's much more efficient for me than like this. It's a trap for souls when they're led to believe that they will find true love elsewhere but not in God, or the deep spiritual connection, biofield mind with the soul, soul with the truth which is love. You're not going to find that in other people, because if I'm projecting this to you, I have to conditionally love you for some reason, because I'm not capable of unconditional love. I tried to love with the open heart Mother Earth, and then to extend that love to all areas, and then specifically to the Daesh, to the Islamic State, and then my heart closed. Okay. Really, I couldn't love those people. I could love those who suffer, but I could not love them. So, you know, if it's not unconditional, then it's not real. And if it's not real, that means it's trading. You know, I'm giving you my love for your love. Well, that's already prostitution, isn't it? So we humans, we are not perfect. Our souls have been squeezed into the unperfect biological matrix, which is falling apart as you age, and talking about bodies, and we are squeezed into an imperfect world. But that does not deny us of our right to love. And when we love what you guys call God, then you are loved back immediately. You feel that love. And so, if nobody loves you, there are at least two people who could. This could be you and a God. Okay? Those two by default can do it if you can, well, undamaged purify your biofield, your mind, to the extent that you eradicate some parasites, you solve some traumas, so you can get to your heart and feel some love. Okay. Another problem for the self love is, again, with this picture, is those little bullshit thoughts which are telling you that, you know, understand me? Like, parasiti, yeah, you see? Simalanga, okay. So, these little things which are telling you that you do not deserve it, which is total bullshit, because you've been created by it, your essence is it, your essence is love, which is intelligent, which is truth. This is your soul, eternal soul, and then it's placed into this body, or could be placed into that lady's body there, which is drinking a juice, or another table. This soul could be black, this soul could be white, this soul could be an Asian body, this soul could be an animal body. Now he's drinking coffee, talking to you. All these bodies do not define should that soul be loved or not. your money in your pocket, your social status, how good looking you are, how young you are, do not define whether you have a right to be loved or to love or not. It's beyond the right. It's the nature. It's there. Love is there. So, you deserve it. You always deserve it. Other people also deserve their love. And if these traumas happen in your life, and these treacheries happen in your life, and backstabbings and so on, they happen because it is the nature of the matrix, and it is the nature of the whole blood sucking, the prana sucking process. So at least if we are talking now about the partners, love, and relationships and so on, you can forgive yourself for doing stupid and cruel things because, in the essence, you did not control your emotions and your thoughts, and if you're not in the control of your emotions and your thoughts, something else is. And I'm not talking about extremes. I'm not talking about those cases when people judge, oh, I don't know, judge what happened. I was drugged and I was under influence of alcohol, but at some point I don't remember what happened and that person was dead. I'm not talking about that. This is also demonic influence. I'm talking about the normal zombie state of mind. What people are most of the days, most of the time, we humans, we are in the zombie state of mind, which is the state of mind which is not connected to the source in meditation and observant, or state of mind which is not mindful in that sense of observing the emotions and thoughts in a Buddhist sense, which is extremely hard to achieve all the time. So if you are not in that state of mind that you are aware of your thoughts and emotions, and if your heart is closed, which is normal, at least for most of the people, and for me most of the time, I need to consciously open it to open it. Or it opens if I'm really like somewhere in the nature alone, then it goes. But when I'm around other people and their auras are hitting me, their dislike is hitting me, it closes automatically. And it's simply protecting itself. And so, in all my digressions, thank you for watching anyway. I was talking about self-forgiveness. And so, yeah, just forgive yourself. You were not under control, blah. And of course that other person was not, blah. And who in the world is? So, love is also understanding of your mistakes, of other people's mistakes. And that's it. I wrote many things about it. Should I a little bit read more and talk less? Okay, and so for the end, I'm just gonna mention my old love formula, which goes A divided by B plus C through 2 equals X. To explain it, it's not really original. The formula itself is original, but the theory is not. I picked it up from a BBC documentary about the human relationships and how females and males see each other and why. So I'm gonna go shortly through the theory. It goes like this. Males look only for a beauty in females because the beauty is a sign of physical health, and that means they're going to have a healthy offspring, and this is what turns on the males with the females, the women's beauty. and this is nothing new. Uh, Evolutionary speaking, males are not that attractive to the women's money because they've been always hunters and gatherers, and they knew how to provide for the group. So this is not evolutionary inside of them to go for the money with the females. This is a new thing, I think. But beauty, definitely. And okay, yeah, you know it. And when we come to the females, it's two things. First thing is the beauty. She also looks for a beauty in a man because that means the same thing. That means healthy offspring. Young and beautiful means healthy, right? That's it. And the second thing is money. And I'll need to explain this because it's a matter of controversy. Money now means basically the security what men can offer for a child, because it goes like this, folks. When boy and girl have a fun, it's the girl who ends up in a trouble, right? And that's why girl must be wise. She must be wise. She must know what kind of man to pick up, okay? Try to attract. And if man has the money, if man has a position in the society, he can protect that woman and that child or the children. So therefore, woman is evolutionary wired to go for a man who can provide for a family. Okay, these two things. And so I define that as it's a very simple formula. A is a woman's beauty. It goes between 1 and 5. 1 is the lowest point, 5 is the highest. Divided by B. B is a man's beauty. This is B. And plus C. C is the money. And that's divided by 2 because we are looking for an average point. And if there is a match between female's beauty and a man's beauty and a man's body, that relationship is gonna work. And if they're off like 25% or more, that means eventually somebody's gonna dump somebody else. For example, if she's like a 4, she's a very good-looking girl, not like a 5, like maybe top model or a movie actress or somebody very attractive, but beautiful lady. And if he's like average guy with average job, 3 plus 3, he is only 3, she will think that in a life she could do better than him, that she could get herself a guy who is thinner, who has a better genes, who has a better job, at least 20 or maybe 40% more income. And she will go for that guy. She will dump that guy, the old guy. And same goes for him. Of course, he's gonna feel happy because he has her, and he will try to keep her, and so on. This is how it goes. But even when I was developing that theory, I found the glitch, and the glitch was that spiritual love, that real love between people, and this is something, this is the exception which pretty much justifies the rule. I was developing this rule back in Croatia. In Croatia, we have this Western system of a marriage and so on, and of course mortality connected to it, not mortality. But now I live in Cambodia, and here is a different system. Here is it's very simple in a sense. Brides are simply bought. They are either bought, and this is how it goes in Southeast Asia. They are either bought by for the fixed sum, and then you own nothing to the family later on through the life, or you are sort of renting her per month. This was in Bangkok. This was $300 when you marry a Thai wife. Out of your $1,200 teacher's paycheck, $300. This was normal. Go to her family for everything, and so on. And of course, if you don't have money or something, that I guess that I don't know how it works from case to case. I guess you must immediately find a job or you get dumped. I heard stories that people get dumped immediately if something goes financially wrong in this European white Asian relationship. But this is again another dimension. You're now talking about the systems. So these are different systems, how they've been placed in different cultures. In Asia is like this. In Western culture is like that. In Islamic world is again another system. And these are just different matrix systems, how matrix places these different systems through media, through religion, through basically buzz on the street, through publications, and over generations and over decades, people develop certain patterns, like which are fixed patterns. You know, everybody in society thinks in a certain way. In this society, in Asian society, there is nothing wrong about selling your daughter to a guy. It's not pimping. It's simply a normal, be necessity of life. You had a daughter. You had a number of them. You invested money in them. Well, why not to make 20,000 grand when she's 19, and then every month 300-400 if you can, or two. Why not? It would be stupid not to if it's possible. So this is their way of thinking, and guess what? It totally has a basis. You know, everybody's way of thinking has a basis, has a point in something. Western point of thinking. I know that I moved far away from the metaphysical world, but I'll try to finish this. You know, everybody's point of view has